Welcome back to the 2-Minute Warning. Today I'm taking a look at the Seattle Seahawks, but more specifically, Russell Wilson, and go over what I think we can expect from him in the 2021 season. But before getting that topic, question for those of you viewing, where do you rank Russell Wilson amongst quarterbacks in the NFL? You think he's the best, second best, third best, fourth best, top five, wherever you got him? Comment down below and I'll give my answer at the end. Getting straight into it though, just for reference, Russell Wilson last year had 4,212 passing yards, his second most ever in a single season, 7 yards short of tying his most ever, 4,219. 40 touchdowns, his most ever, and 13 interceptions. A lot of people, including myself last year, was like halfway or about I think it was like 5-6 weeks into the season, like what's wrong with Russell Wilson? First 3-4 weeks, he was the MVP front runner, hands down, and then he just trickled down. However, if you look at the overall stat sheet, 40 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, that's pretty impressive. That's over a 3 touchdown interception ratio. Granted, Russell Wilson has had in actually the two previous seasons before, seasons of 5 to 6 touchdowns and interceptions in the same, or 5 to 6 touchdown and interception ratio in the same season. So, 3 doesn't look that fantastic when he has seasons where he's had a 6 touchdown and interception ratio, but still, when you throw in that many touchdowns, your efficiency might take a step back. I'm not knocking Russell. I get it. You got DK and Metcalf, a huge weapon. You got Tyler Lockett. You have somewhat of not the prettiest O-line. This is all referring back to last year, by the way. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to avoid some pressure and just throw the ball, and there's going to be some tight 50-50 situations. I get it. Pete Carroll is definitely not the most innovative offensive-minded head coach by any means, especially when you look at his division of Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan. But what can we expect out of Russell in this new season? Better offensive line, just more experience from DK Metcalf. I think we all know we still haven't seen the full potential of DK. The cat's young. He's just scratching the surface of what he is. He's probably one of, if not the most physically gifted receiver in the NFL today. The dude's a freak. I think we're going to see a lot more out of him. I think we could see DK Metcalf lead the league in yards. Don't know if I would bet on it, but I don't know if I would bet against it either, if that puts it into perspective. Tyler Lockett's becoming underrated at this point. I'm excited to see how Dwayne Eskridge, rookie out of the second round, is going to pan out. I'm also excited to see how Gerald Everett will be, a big athletic tight end compared to what Wilson is used to. Personally, being in that tough division, Rams defense, Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, Niners defense, Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, Cardinals, who knows how J.J. Watt, Chandler Jones, Budda Baker, how are those guys going to pan out? Obviously, there's some things that we know is going to be for sure. Budda Baker's on the come up, but how is Chandler Jones going to be returning from injury? How's How's J.J. Watt going to be now into his 30s? I don't know. Either way, I'm not excited for it for Russell. While they improve the offensive line, there's still going to be some scary pass rush coming at him in his own division. But personally, with 17 games, with DK improving, I feel like Russell Wilson has been more dedicated than ever. I'm sure every season you could make that argument, but I just feel like he's been gypped and it is his turn. A lot of people I've seen say Seattle's going 7-10. A lot of people I see 10-7. A lot of people I still see Seattle winning the division. It's a toss-up. I'm not really record predicting for this video, but it's just hard to know in that division. You can make the argument Seahawks are the best team, and you can make the same argument that they're the worst team. Just being in the NFC West, the toughest division in the NFL, it is hard to say. But I think, like I said, with DK evolving, with Tyler Lockett, Gerald Everett, Dwayne Eskridge, Chris Carson, I like this offense this year. I like Russell Wilson to be right around the stats he was last year. I think he'll actually top his career high in yards for a single season. Again, that is 4,219. Last year, he just had 4,212, 7 yards short. This year, though, with all those factors, plus a 17th game, I don't see how he does not top it. I'm not betting on it, but I just think with that 17th game, that gives him an extra game of, having just a bad game. Now you got an extra 16 that you were used to, but you got that one extra. It's okay to have a bad one. And if it turns out to be a good one, who's to say he can't get an extra 250, 300, 400 yards out of that game and really top his career high in yards? 40 touchdowns will be hard to match. A lot of people think 40 is really reasonable. The most a single quarterback has ever gotten 40 touchdowns, the record for the most times a quarterback has gotten 40 touchdowns is only 3 times, and that's held by Aaron Rodgers, and he just said it last year. So as much as I'd like to say he reached 40 again, it is easier said than done. I do think we'll see that record be broken within the next few years, now that there's going to be 17 games compared to 16, that could be anywhere from 1 to 5 extra touchdowns added to your season records. But still really hard to say. I would say he'll be right around it. The 17th game, that tough division, you have to take that into account as well. I would say he's anywhere between 37 to 42 touchdowns. I don't think he's going to destroy it, but I don't think he's going to be far from it either. Again, 37 to 32 touchdowns. 37 to 42 touchdowns would be my prediction. His career high in yards will be my prediction. Interceptions, it seems like he had a lot of bad games last year, but 13 picks is still not a lot. It's not that much at all. 3 to 1 is a good ratio for the most part. I would say anywhere between 11 and 15 interceptions. I know that's more than last year, the 15 compared to 13, but again, the extra game, it could be a bad game. Again, playing Jalen Ramsey, Budda Baker, Niners defense, Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, Reek Armstead. It's a tough division, and I'm going to give him some leeway. I do think with the better line, he will be leaning towards 11. He'll have less sacks, hopefully. He'll be using his legs a little bit more, hopefully. He'll have some more success this year, hopefully. We'll just have to see it turns out. But again, my prediction for Russell Wilson in 2021 is going to be 37 to 42 touchdowns, career high in yards. That means topping 4,219. I'm actually changed my range from 11 to 15 to 10 to 14. I do think with the better line, he won't throw as many picks, so 10 to 14 interceptions. And I do think the Seahawks will make it into the playoffs. I'm at least giving that. I don't want to bet on them winning the division, but I'll say they'll at least be a wild card at the bare minimum. I'm not saying they can't win the division, but I just don't feel comfortable betting that today because I don't know who will come out of there as winner without actually seeing any of these guys play a single rep. Some of the rookies, some of the older guys, I just don't know what the situation is to the full extent for me to feel confident in that bet. But you guys tell me, do you agree or disagree with my expectations for Russell? And referring back to the question I asked in the beginning of the video, where does Russell rank? To me, he's a top 3 or top 4 quarterback. It goes Mahomes, Rodgers, and then Wilson and Watson are 3A and 3B. It just really depends who has the better day at that point. I think they're interchangeable. He's either the 3rd best or 4th best. It just depends on the day, like I said. But I do think at bare minimum, he's a top 4. And if he has a really bad day, at the very bare minimum, top 5 QB in the league. Russell Wilson's arguably generational talent. He's got a Super Bowl ring. He'll be a future Hall of Famer. Russell Wilson is a top 5 QB in the league. At the worst, not his best, he could be the best quarterback in the league on any given Sunday. But for my range, I'm going to say top 3 to be comfortable and confident in. You guys tell me, do you agree or disagree? As always, and of course, thank you for watching, guys. 2-minute warning.